Amen. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash, double honor to the apostle and elder, great millstone, peace, salutation, 144, a heart to let men, women, children, double honor to my father, honor to my direct priest Yakanan, and to the brothers that's out here preaching the truth and spirit of sincerity and the spirit of sincerity and charity that you, I say shalom. Hey, to the beloved Akwa, to the few out there that's in the truth and real sincerity and charity, being obedient to your husband, you know what I'm saying, your Hawashai and your direct husband, if you're married on this side, hey, and obedience, full obedience to your husband, hey, both of them to you I say shalom. Where we're striving to get back to be that bride, but to you brides that's on bride on this side, that's being obedient to your husband, to the spirit of your Yahweh Shema Shai, to you I say through your husband first, I say to you shalom. Hey man, we're gonna jump straight into it. The book of Isaiah, chapter 37. All right, we see what's going on, man. If you don't know what's going on here, I will start off with reading verse 14. I was stumbled here or was led here, man. And the book of Isaiah, chapter 37, is similar to these times, man. Let's get into it. For the sake of time, man, we started we started like at verse 10, because what's happening is the king of Assyria, man, and we know that we're dealing with the Syrian king today. If you can see that spiritually, the Syrian king, man, is pressing sending word against Hezekiah, man, talking all types of noise about what he gonna do, man. You know what I'm saying? And talking noise against Yahweh Shema Shah, man, going into how the other nations had other gods, and he rolled through them. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between their gods that they called upon? They could stop me, and your God, telling Israel, hey, don't let Hezekiah, you know what I'm saying, catch you slipping, man, to where you trust in your God, and you know what I'm saying, and basically I roll through you, you know what I'm saying. Well, what the king said, hey, I'm gonna send my servants to you, man, basically, so y'all can bow to the ring, bow to the knee, and gonna treat y'all real good, gonna throw a feast for y'all, they gonna bring y'all back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but there's a God in heaven, man. There's a God in heaven, right? There's a God in heaven, man. So yeah, man. There's a God in heaven. Still got this double thing going on, but it's all good. So we're gonna pick up on verse 14. Um, Man, matter of fact, let's start back. Thus shall he speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God in whom thou trustest deceive thee. See there? Hey man, so Hezekiah, so this king saying, hey man, don't let your God deceive. Hey, in other words, your God is a liar, man. Your God can't do nothing against me, is what he's saying. He said, thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, let not thy God in whom thou trustest deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Hey, don't believe your God when it said, because all these other nations, their God said the same thing. What's the difference between their gods who they trusting in and your God? Don't let your God, in other words, man, hey, that king was bold, man. That king was saying, don't let your God lie to you. Hey, man, so you can already know what the outcome gonna be. Verse 11, I'm gonna read that again. It says, thus shall you speak to the king of, thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God in whom thou trustest deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Hey, thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, right? Thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah. Thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God in whom thou trustest deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Syria. Hey, y'all gonna be given into my hand. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands by destroying them utterly, and shall thou be delivered? They destroyed everybody else, and who we done ran up against. And you gonna be delivered? Shall thou? So what makes you different, man? What makes you special? All right. Have the gods of the nations delivered them from my fathers have destroyed, as Gazan and Haran and Rezeph and the children of Eden, which were in Telazar. hey, my people got a. He's in other words, he's saying, hey, my people got a rep for conquering people. It says, have the gods of these other nations deliver them, which my hey, I come from a line of kicking ass. I come from a line of conquering other nations with this king of Assyria. This is what we do, right? And let me start back from the top. And it came to pass, verse 1, when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of Yahweh. And he sent Eliakim, who was over the household, and Shebna, the scribe, and the elders of the priests covered with sackcloth unto Isaiah, the prophet of son of Amoz. And they said unto him, thus saith Hezekiah, this day is a day of trouble and of rebuke and of blasphemy, for the children are come to the birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. It may be Yahweh thy power will hear the words of Rabba Shekah, whom the king of Assyria, his master, has. And it may be Yahweh thy power will hear, Yahweh thy most high power will hear the words of Rob Shekeh, whom the king of Assyria his master have sent to reproach the living God, and will reprove the words which Yahweh thy power have heard. Wherefore lift up thy prayer for the remnant that is left. Right? So the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah, and Isaiah said unto them, thus shall ye say unto your master, thus saith Yahweh. I mean, as y'all see, we having trouble here, but we're gonna keep on pushing. So it says, thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, verse 10, 37 and 10, Isaiah 37:10. Thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God in whom thou trust, not my back before them. Verse 6, Isaiah 37:6. And Isaiah said unto them, thus shall you say unto your master, thus saith Yahweh, be not afraid of the words that thou hast heard, wherewith the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor, right? And normally, when you hear the word rumor from Yahweh, it means instruction, news. And he shall hear an instruction and return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. So Rob Shekah returned. Rob Shekah found the king. Rob Shekah returned and found the king of warned against Lebanon, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish. Skipping to verse 10. Thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God trustest, in whom thou trustest, um, in whom thou trustest, deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all the lands by destroying them utterly, and shalt thou be delivered. You ain't no different. Hey, you heard what we do. You ain't no different from no other king, man. Who are y'all? Right? Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have, by verse 12. Have the gods of the nations delivered them which my father have destroyed? Where is the king of Haman and the king of Raphad and the king of the city of Severhim and Hena? And now, where are these other kings, all these other nations, man? They gone and utterly destroyed, right? And Hezekiah received a letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up to the house of Yahweh and spread it before you. So this king came to Hezekiah, right? This king came to Hezekiah and sent him a letter saying, hey, this is what's going to happen, man. This is what it is, and this is what we're going to do, right? And it's pretty much just a wrap for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But Hezekiah went to Isaiah, man. He went to Isaiah the prophet, man, right? And he received word to Isaiah the prophet, Salakia. All right? And Hezekiah prayed unto Yahweh. That's first. And Hezekiah prayed unto Yahweh, Salakia. And Hezekiah prayed unto Yahweh. O Yahweh host, God of Israel, that dwellest in the cherubim. Thou art the most high God, even thou alone of all the kingdoms of the earth, which means him Yahweh Shah ain't one. Well, they're not the same person, they're on one accord. Pursuing the 1 John 5, 7, 8. Hey, that's for the understanding of Hebrews 4, Hebrews 6 and 4, Deuteronomy 6 and 4 right there, right? Um, so the precept for Deuteronomy 6 and 4, 6 and 4 is 1 John 5 and 7 through 8. They're on one accord, right? O Lord of war, God of Israel, that dwellest between the cherubims, thou art the most high God, even thou alone, right? Of all the kings of the earth, thou hast made heaven and earth. Hear all the words of Sennacherib, which I've sent to reproach the living God. So Hezekiah is praying unto Yahweh, asking him to see and hear all these shameful reproaches, all these shameful things that the king of Sennacherib of Syria is saying against him and against him, man. Verse 18, of a truth, Yahweh, the kings of Assyria have laid waste all these nations and their countries. As Hezekiah is saying, Yahweh, it's true that they have a lineage of laying waste to kings throughout the earth. Whoever they run up against, Yahweh, they tie down, they run through them, right? Of truth, Yahweh, the kings of Syria have laid waste of all the nations and their countries. Our power, verse 20, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that Yahweh, that thou art Yahweh. Now, verse 20, now therefore, O Yahweh, our power, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art Yahweh, even thou only. Then Isaiah, the son of Amos, sent unto Hezekiah, saying, thus said Yahweh, power of Israel, whereas thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria, right? This is the word which Yahweh hath spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, hath despised thee. Hey, my daughter despised you, right? And laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem have shaken her head at thee. Hey, bro, we laugh you to scorn, man. Hey, just like just as today, man. We laugh this present kingdom to scorn, man. We laugh spiritual Assyria, this Assyrian kingdom, man. We laugh them to scorn, man. Right? The daughter of Jerusalem has shaken her head at thee, whom hast thou reproached and blasphemed, against whom thou hast exalted, and against whom hast thou exalted thy voice. And you didn't raise your voice too much, you didn't talk too much. You didn't spoke out of turns, man. Right? And lift up thine eyes on high, even against the Holy One of Israel. You didn't even came against Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Right? By thy servants hast thou reproached. By thy servants has thou reproached the Lord. By thy servants hast thou reproached the Lord, Salakia. By thy servants hast thou reproached the Lord. By thy servants hast thou reproached the Lord, and hast said, by thy multitude of my chariots am I come up to the height of the mountains. I came to the top of the line. I came up against Israel, right? And not only against Israel, to the top of the absolute top, the most high. I'm coming against Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Dead man walking. To the sides of Lebanon, and I will cut down the tall cedars thereof, and the choice fir trees thereof, and I will enter into the height of his border, and the forest of his Carmel. This man said he gonna walk all through the temple, walk all through the people, man. He running this, man. You know what I'm saying? We see the same thing in Isaiah chapter 14, right? Which also is spiritually likened unto these present times as well. You will sit on the sides of the north, he will be like the most high. We understand what's going on. All these heathen nations, man, has wanted to take us down. all these heathen nations has wanted to rise up against our these heathen nations, man, have wanted to rise up against our Father, man. It's just that pride is in them, man. That pride is in them, man. Point blank period. Right? Let's keep going here. We're almost done. Um, it says, by thy service hast thou reproached the Lord and has said, by the multitude of my charities, and Shabbat Shalom to all, everybody that celebrated, man. Right? By thy servant hast thou from Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown. Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown. By thy servant hast thou reproached the Lord, and I said, by the multitude of my chariots, am I come up to the height of the mountains? Am I come up I come up to somebody I'm supposed to be afraid of? You know what I'm saying? Am I come up to the height of the mountains, to the sides of Lebanon? I will cut the tall cedars thereof, and choice fir trees thereof, and I will enter into the height of his border, and the forest of his camel. Hey man, I'm gonna cut y'all down, man. If y'all the big dog, hey man, I'm about to show you who's boss. This is what this king is saying, man, of Assyria. I'm about to walk all through y'all. I'm about to cut down all the best of y'all have. I'm about to humble y'all, man. Y'all tall military, y'all tall men. I'm about to race your prince about to go down. Your women about to, y'all about to be captives, man, just like everybody else was, man. Y'all I have did y'all through. I'm about to run all through y'all with this king saying, man. I'm about to humble y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show hey man, ooh. I have verse 25, I have did and drunk water, and with the sole of my feet have I dried up all the rivers of the besieged places. Let's get to what Yahweh says, man. Um, has thou not heard long ago? This is what Yahweh said. Has thou not heard long ago how I have done it in of ancient time? Yahweh saying, hey bro, forget you ain't heard about me. You want to talk about refuge? You want to talk about resumes? In other words, dog. You want dog. You want to talk about resumes? Dog. You ain't on this level, man. All right? Has I not heard long ago how I have done it in of ancient times, that I have formed it? Now have I brought it to pass that thou shouldest be laid, that thou shouldest be to lay waste the fenced cities into ruined heaps. Therefore the inhabitants were of all small, they were dismayed. Man, the people I set you up to rule over, man, they was nothing, man. You even know that I set this up, man. The people you conquered, man, you're part of my movie, man. You're part of my story. The people I set you up, man. You're not even you just an antagonist, man. And the people I set you and the people I let you roll over, they were small in my story, man. Smaller than you. You may be the roach or the grasshopper, and they're the ant or the little bug. But you're just a grasshopper. You know what I'm saying? Just giving a sense on it. But everybody I magnify them before your eyes, man. I let you think they were someone when they were nothing. Less like I allowed you to think you're something to this Assyrian king and you're nothing. That's the same thing for this Assyrian king, man. This Assyrian king, man, they're nothing Yahweh about Shema Shazah. Let's get that. When we get there, get this in another one. Isaiah 37. Bear with me. Isaiah 37. Isaiah 37 and 26, and we almost out of here. How you doing? Has thou not? Oh, okay. It ain't popping up, so we're gonna keep on moving. Has thou not heard long ago how I've done it, and of ancient times that I have formed it? Now have I brought it to pass that thou shouldst be laid waste, that thou should be to lay waste the fenced cities into ruined heaps. Therefore their inhabitants were of small, right? Of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field and as the green herb, and as Now, verse 27. It says, therefore, bottom verse 26. I brought it to pass that thou shouldst be laid waste to fenced cities and to ruin cities. I brought it to pass that you're gonna lay waste to these cities, man, to these nations, and to ruin cities. I set that up, man. Right? You just a small fraction of the. You just a half a fraction of the plan, man. Small, you're nothing, man. Second Ezra 64. These other nations are as nothing, man. Right? Let's get that real quick. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. We're gonna come right back. We're almost done. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. It says, now these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of thy creatures, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him coming all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, are the one, Yahweh Shema Shah, because thou madest the world for our sake. As for the other people, these kings and nations, including this king of Assyria, what his name, Shekim or something like that, which also come from Adam. Let's see what this king nation is. Let's see what this king is, what his name is. What is king name? Shirachib. What's his king name? So like, what's his name? Sennacherib, as these other nations like Sennacherib, king of Syria, as for these other nations, right? Going back to Ezra 6 and 56, as for these other people like King of Sennacherib, which also come from Adam, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. These other nations are nothing, man. Before you, but be like unto spittle. These other nations are nothing to Yahweh Shemashah. But be like unto spittle, as like in the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel, man. Right? You just a stain in the Most High plans that's about to get washed and removed, man. Just a stain in the Most High plans that's about to get removed. A stain that He placed, man. Right? Going back to where it was. Verse 27. Therefore, their inhabitants were of small power. Therefore, their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field and as the green herb. They were as Therefore, their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field, and as the green herb, and as the green herb, right? As the grass on the housetops, and as corn blasted before it be grown up. But I know thy abode. I know you stay here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And thy going out, and thy coming in, and thy rage against me. I know your anger against me. I know you've been talking all that smack. I know how you feeling me. I know that hey, you in that Psalm 83. I know you're adversary against me. Me and thy tumult and your gathering is come up to my ears. The angel has reported your rage against me, because thy rage against me and thy tumult and your gathering, you and all your homeboys, you and all the people you can capture your captives and your team, and because thy rage is against me and thy tumult, your anger gathering your people, right? And the subservience you didn't likely conquer is come up to my ears. The angel did reported this. Therefore, I put my hook in thy nose and my bridle in thy lips like a horse, and I will turn thee back by the I will not turn thee back by the way which and I will turn thee back by the way by which thou camest. Just like he gonna do in Ezekiel 38. He about to put his hooks in the mouth of in the jaw of he gonna put his hook just like he gonna put his hooks in the mouth of Gog and Magog and turn them against Babylon the Great, right? It says, because thy rage against me and thy tumult is come up into my ears, therefore I put my hook in thy nose and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way by which thou camest. And this shall be a sign unto thee: ye shall eat this year such as groweth of itself, and the second year that which springeth of the same, and in the third year sow ye, and in the third year sow ye, and reap and plant vineyards, and eat the fruit thereof. Right? Verse 31. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of Yahweh of hosts shall do this. Right? And this shall be a sign unto, matter of fact, verse 30, 29, we almost out of here. We're almost out of here. Got 8 more verse, verse 29. It says, because thou rage against me, and thy tumult is come up into my ears, therefore will I put my hook in thy nose, my brother, and thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way by which thou camest. This was spiritual series gonna be done this way, man. Hey, this about my God, may God, which is Russian, the Most High Yahweh is about Yahweh Shema Shah about to turn their hooks and turn them back into the spirit of the USSR spirit, and they gonna bomb America the Great, man, Babylon the Great, and this shall be a sign. That's biblical prophecy, man. And we are, hey man, we just a doomsday prophet, man. We gonna stand. Sign unto thee, ye shall eat this year such as growth of itself, and the second year that which spring of the same, and in the third year sow ye and reap and plant vineyards and eat the fruit thereof. Verse 31. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of hosts, the zeal of Yahweh of hosts shall do this. Therefore, read it again. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of Yahweh of hosts shall do this. The zeal of Yahweh of war shall do this, man. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape of shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of Yahweh of hosts shall do this. Therefore, the zeal of Yahweh of war shall do this. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shields, nor cast a bank against it. Hey, man, you ain't coming up against Israel at all, man. It's done for you, man. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into the city, saith Yahweh. For I will defend the city to save it from my own sake. Just hey, he's gonna defend Israel, man. And this is like into present day. For I will defend the city to save it for mine own sake, for his own sake, for his word, and for my servant David's sake. Then the angel of Yahweh went forth and smote in the camp of Assyrians. Right? And this is what's gonna happen here, man. We about to see see. Come here real quick. If you see yourself on this sign right here, man, then you are. If your father is one of these right here, man, right? This is the name that our oppressors gave us, right? Look very close, brother. This is the name that the Most High gave us. So if you see your father, nationality, if your father is so-called black, Jamaican, Haitian, and so on, y'all the true Israelites of the Bible, man. We're not Catholics, right? We're not Gentiles. In other words, the one you know as Jesus, whose real name is Yahweh, he was a brother. And if he walked the earth today, he'll be called a Negro. That's real life, brother. Do you hear? Can you repeat what I'm saying? What I just said to you, man? Speak the truth. Did you repeat what I said to you? Yeah. If any of your All right, real quick, back to it. We're about to close like two more verses. I think we're at verse 36. Verse 36. Then for I will defend the city to save it for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. Then the angel of Yahweh went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. Man, the angel of the Lord went in and smote 185,000 Assyrians, man. Hey, Esau's military, man, for America. Hey, the Ish, right? All these militaries of Esau, man. Y'all, hey, they gonna be wiped out, man. That's second Ezra 13. We just reading the Bible. Second Ezra 13, Isaiah 63. These militaries that's gonna come against the Most High. Hey, that's America. That's Israel. All these other nations, man. They're gonna come up against them. Yahweh Bashim Al Shai in the valley of Jehoshaphat. When he cracked the sky on this side, when he come through America, all these other nations and all these heathens and all these civilians that are two-thirds and heathens, they're gonna be wearing through, man. That's just point blank period. Hey, I'm just reading. Hey, that's what the scripture says. That's Isaiah 63. Then the angel of Yahweh went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000, 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpse. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed. So the king of so Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt in Nineveh. And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisarach his god that and it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisarach his god that Drumelech and Sharezer his son smote him with the sword, which was prophesied, man. It was prophesied. Yahweh sent the word that he was going. It was Yahweh sent the word that he was going to send his son that he was going to die by the sword, right? Um, it was Yahweh said that, man, that he gonna that his king gonna die by the sword. Bear with me. Verse 7, man. Verse 7. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor and return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. Yahweh said it, man. In verse 7. And look what happened, man. Look what's about to happen. Verse 37. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisarach. And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisarach his God. Hey man, the Most High is so cold, man. He cold blooded. You've been talking this noise against me, and my servant, and my king, and my servant who worship, and my king who worship me. You've been talking this noise directly against me, the Holy One, Yahweh Shema Shai. Hey, I'm about to murk you. Hey, listen what's about to happen. Why you worshiping? Why he worshiping in front of his God? Just as America is worshiping in front of their gods, this is what's gonna happen. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisarach his God, that Adremelech and Sharezer his son smote him with the sword, just like it showed in verse 7, and they escaped into the land of Armenia and Esarhaddon his right? And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisarach his God, that Adremelech and Sharezer his sons, like verse 7, like the Most High said was gonna happen, his sons smote him with the sword, like verse 7 said. Like verse 7, we're gonna read it again, we're gonna close. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor and destruction, and return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. But the Most High, so amen, the Most High so cold blooded, he even tell him by who though. Verse 30, verse 37. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass as he was worshiping the house of Nisroch, his God, right? His God, right? Not the Most High, our God. That Adremelech, because Yahweh is the God of God, and there is none. And as it came to pass, as he was worshiping the house of Nisroch, his God, that Adremelech and Sharezer, his son, smote him with the sword. They smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. Amen. Just want, hey, we see what's gonna happen. That's happened. Hey, we see this happened to the king of Syria. This what's gonna happen to the spiritual Syrian. If you can, those who have eyes, those who have ear to hear and not to see, amen. Hope you can catch what the Spirit's saying, man. And I pray that through this lesson was through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. I hope that y'all catch what the Spirit's saying. I'm gonna speak that through faith, man. Those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. With that being said, just want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace, shout out to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Honors, double honors to my father, and honors to my direct priest, Priest Shaganah.